We're getting closer to Christmas times. My stuff set up. Hi, welcome to 50 Plus, my little mini series I'm doing on every 10 years leading up to today, 2023. I'm James Lott Jr., and thank you so much for making the first two episodes very popular. And the comments I've been getting, and you guys have been going down memory lane with me, especially like, oh my, drooling all of a sudden, especially 1983, which was last week's show. But you can check out 73 to 83, and now we're on 93. And just like the others, I'm telling you a little bit about me. Also, the top movies, TV shows, albums, and songs of that year. And I'm also showing you a personal picture of myself of that year. And I'm in here somewhere, and I'm choosing this picture on purpose. If you're listening to me, you can't see it, but it's a picture of me and three of my friends. And the reason why I show this picture from 1993 in the apartment I lived in, um, we all moved to San Francisco at the same time. We had all lived various places. We moved in together for a bit. And this was us having just one of our dinners. We were so young. I was 34 years old at this picture. And we were just having it. We were like, not 34, I was 24. I'm like, oh, hold on, how am I? I was 24 at this picture. And we were all just living life. We were in San Francisco. We were so excited. We couldn't believe it. And we've all gone our separate ways in terms of where we live. I still talk to one person in that group. The other two I haven't talked to in a long time, but I hope they're doing well. But that was me a long time ago and land far away. We had moved to San Francisco, and I was coming from Sacramento. I was co-raising my little girl Monica Alicia still, and I go to Sacramento all the time for that, where they come to San Francisco. And my friend Nick and I was in that picture. We got a two-bedroom flat. It was long. It was huge, like in South of Market area, or the Mission area of San Francisco. And we were both looking for jobs. He moved here first, then I moved a month or so later. And then I looked for a job while he was looking for one too. I got a job right away, actually, at a place called Cafe Salamagundi. Don't ask me what that means. I can't remember. But it was a soup place. They serve soups and bread bowls and stuff. And I had to go work early in the morning shift, the opening shift. I guess to get it ready, and then for lunch rush, I'd be off. And that's my first job. And I worked across from the famous uh, Treasury building on Market Street. I worked in it was one Market Street is where I worked, and it was inside. It was on the first floor. The top floors were all businesses, but the first floor were restaurants, and then there was also this area that was like a food court, and that's what I worked in, food court. And that was a short job. I had it for I don't know. I can't remember how many months I was there. But I was there. I'm thinking about it right now. I ran across with my pay stubs recently. I was like, oh, I still have it. But I was first the back person on the cashier. I didn't make the soup or anything or the bread. And I worked there. I was there, I think, about 5 months, I think. Yeah, I guess about 4 or 5 months. And then a drawer came short and accused me of stealing, which I didn't steal it. And I left. I was like, I quit before they could even fire me. I was like, I quit. And then I would look for another job, and I went across the mall area and went to Camelot Music. And Camelot Music said, we have no locations here with any openings. We went out in Daly City. I'm like, where's that? And back then, the BART system, which is the subway system, didn't go all the way out there throughout the city. So I had to take a BART to a bus to a bus. Got to Serramonte Center, which is a big center there, and I went in and I got the job. Well, first I went in, they were like, well, we'll think about it, blah, blah. I got home and I got a phone call. I got the job. And so literally, I think I was without a job for maybe like a couple of days, if I remember correctly, and then I had a new job. Um, but I was very popular Saturday Sunday. They knew me in there, and we had a good time. But I was just, I mean, those kind of jobs, they always had bad management. We were all overworked and underpaid, all that stuff. But then going to Camelot Music, that changed my actually whole life in terms of the rest of my life, the rest of that decade. So made good friends that I'm still friends with to this day. Shout out to Andrew and Michelle. And had a whole new life after that. I was dating somebody at the time from Sacramento. We moved to San Francisco together. So we were still together at this time. And I think, is that everything? And I had a little cat, Babette. Um, she was she was mixed, but kind of stuck with me in my room. I had the back room, back half of the room. We're paying $950 for our 2-bedroom place. But then our friends came, Tara and Deb, who were in the picture, and they stayed. A lot of folks stayed in our house at some point. But we had this, but we it was I was there 6 years until I went on my own. But it was a fun time. We were young and tender. Went out to the clubs, had a good time. I was learning. We were trying to navigate our way in this big city of San Francisco. But I always say, because by the time, well, we'll still be when we get to 2003, we'll still be in San Francisco. But I will just say this: if we get to 2013, it'll be a different story. But I will say that I grew up in Sacramento and in San Francisco. You know, I'm from Los Angeles. I was raised and reared here, but I I grew up in those two cities, and San Francisco taught me a lot about myself, in so many great ways. Anyway, that's kind of my personal part of this. Now I'm going to give you some of the things that are going on at the time. You guys seem to love this part, of course, and it's funny. So these were, according to Billboard magazine, the Bible of the industry of music, the top 10 songs of 1993, and I'm reading them from 10 up. These were the biggest sellers, most sellers have it back then, everything. So these are the top. I can't. I can't. I'm looking at some going. That was top. These were the top 10 songs. I didn't. This the top 10 songs. At number 10, the top 10 songs of 1993, number 10 of the Hot 100, "Informer" by Snow. Number 9, I think this is so 90s. Number 9, "Rump Shaker," Rex and Effect. That song was there, yeah, it was everywhere. Number 8, "Dream Lover, Come Rescue Me," Mariah Carey. Number 7, this song is so good. "If I Ever Fall in Love" by Shy. Remember them? "I get so weak in the knees I can hardly speak." Number 6 is by SWV and Weak. Silk is at number 5 with "Freak Me." That's the number 5 song of all, and that's just so funny to me. And number 4 is "That's the Way Love, That's the Way Love, That's the Way Love, That's the Way Love, That's the Way Love." You know what it is. Jan Jackson, "That's the Way Love Goes." Number 3, this song was big. "Can't Help Falling in Love" by UB40. The number 2 song, and this song was everywhere. "Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Shaka laka, shaka laka, shaka laka, shaka boom." Tag Team, number 2 song in the country. And the number 1 song of 1993 in the Hot 100 of Billboard is a pitch perfect song from a movie called The Bodyguard, and from the artist Whitney Houston, written by Dolly Parton, "I Will Always Love You." That song is pitch perfect. Not surprise number 1. I would do things a little different because I think I was doing singles, then TV, then albums, and I'm just going to go straight through and do singles. And now the top 10 best-selling albums of the Hot 200 U.S. Billboard chart of 1993, according to Billboard. So, at number 10, I love them actually, Stone Temple Pilots and Core. Number 9, and I'm a huge fan of his, Garth Brooks and The Chase. I was a huge fan of this next band, so you could tell it was the early 90s, grunge was in. And number 8 is 10 by Pearl Jam. Number 7, Pocket Full of Kryptonite by the Spin Doctors. Number 6, The Chronic, Dr. Dre. Number 5, he worked it out. Some Gave All, Billy Ray Cyrus. Oh, and this was probably my favorite album of that year. At number 4, with the hands over her breasts, Janet by Janet Jackson. Number 3, because of that Tears of Heaven song, he had lost his son, fell out a window. Unplugged by Eric Clapton. I don't get him, but people love him. They loved him back in the day. I didn't. I think I owned one thing of his. Kenny G was number 2 with Breathless. I mean, I remember he sold a lot of records. A lot. And the number 1 album, it matches the one song, The Bodyguard soundtrack by Miss Whitney Houston. And of course, a few other artists are on it too. My favorite song, of course, is track number 9, Just One Look at You. And the world is all right with me. The song with Soul System. It's gonna be a lovely day. So Whitney Houston's number 1 of that year, of course. It was her year. Music just killing it. Just killing it. Now it's time for the top 10 grossing movies of 1993. And I'm a little blown out in here. If you're watching me, I'm sorry. I need to get back in the good light. When does this light come on? Will this light work? I have a light over here. I think it's good. Why is it not coming on? There we go. Did that work? Maybe a little bit. I don't know. Okay. Top 10 albums. This is United States and Canada domestic movie chart for 1993. Number 10, Free Willy. Number 9, great opening sequence, Cliffhanger. That was Sly Stallone. Number 8, Aladdin. A Disney picture. Number 7, another good movie, In the Line of Fire. Ooh, I remember this movie was so big. Number 6, Indecent Proposal. I remember everybody was talking about, would you do it? And the movie that everybody's talking about these days, and that the director said he has enough footage to put together a Robin Williams documentary just on its own from the outtakes from this movie. Number 5, Mrs. Doubtfire, which was just pure genius. Number 4, Sleepless in Seattle. Number 3, The Firm. Number 2, The Fugitive. And a movie I saw so many times in the theater. Because when it came out, the special effects were just amazing. The number 1 top grossing movie of 1993 in America and Canada was Jurassic Park. You have to remember, when it came out, them dinosaurs looked real. And it was a good, suspenseful, it was everything. It was everything it needed to be. All right. Lastly, you guys are going down memory lane. I mean, this is 30 years ago, you guys. So crazy. Okay. These are top. Well, the way they have it sitting here. So old, I'm tired. Let me see. Okay. The way I have it written. Okay, I'm gonna do the top 11 shows. The top 11 shows of the 93-94 season. Now, I always say this. I could have done 92-93 season. The reason why I do 93-94 season, because that's actually the beginning. I'm talking about 1993, 1992. So it's the beginning of the season going into the next year. So I'm choosing to do that season and not the other season ending in 93. Just a choice. And number 11 is Murder, She Wrote, CBS. Number 10 is the CBS Sunday movie. Sunday morning. I love CBS Sunday morning, actually, but the CBS Sunday movie at CBS. And number 9 is Murphy Brown, CBS. Go on CBS, the Tiffany Company, working it out. Murphy Brown was the bomb. Number 8, Monday Night Football, ABC. Number 7, the show that's back and on Paramount Plus, and I'm loving it. I love the show. I love it, love it, love it. And number 7 is Frasier, NBC. I'm liking the new version. Number 6, a show I think is underrated, Coach, ABC. Number 5, a show that if she hadn't messed up her life, I think it could have gone on to be a really a continued success. I mean, it was huge out the gate. Brett Butler was such a funny person. Some people saw it as a Roseanne knockoff of some sorts, but I thought it was really good. And it's Grace Under Fire. That was on ABC, and that was literally a huge hit. And right above it, number 4 is Roseanne, ABC. I know people think she's crazy and all that stuff and all that, that. But that all aside, the show Roseanne was the bomb. That show was the bomb, and it was like nothing else. Number 3, Seinfeld, NBC, a show that I love. I mean, I find myself busting up all the time. Home Improvement was number 2, ABC, and the number 1 show that I still watch it. The number 1 show and it's a 55th, 56th season or whatever it is. 60 Minutes, CBS. Oh, kind of crazy. That's the number 1 show. That's the number 1 show of 1994 here in America. So those are your stats, 1993. For me, again, it was a year of new beginnings. I was in a new place. I was going to start a new life. I was in my mid-20s, and ready to rock and roll and to see what's going on and see what my next destiny was going to be. So I think back at the time, I go, wow. It was one of my transformative years. One of the years I did change. I think this thing is making it worse. Oh, wrong here. Turn that off. Oh, we're starting something else. I can't do it here. This make it. Oh, it makes it better. Oh, they do make it better. Oh no. Oh my god, like that. Okay. Stop turning the lights, James. The lights. And so it's one of those years because the next year we get to 2013 won't be going to be a transformative year for me. It's a few years off my transformative year, and then 2023 will end. It's been the year of years, as I said. So we're getting there. I'm James Lott Jr. 50 Plus is on all audio streaming platforms. You just want to listen. JLJ Media YouTube is the channel. I'm James Lott Jr. And I'll see you guys next time.